Kite kantic, Kite kantic, pran, priyè. This is a beautiful Haitian Creole idiom that could be translated as cut to the chase. And that is precisely what I have been asked to do as I stand here to celebrate the exceptional career of Gardy Guiteau at Newark Academy. This morning, yes, this morning, during his presentation to faculty and staff, you got a glimpse of all the things that Gardy has done in his 3 years at our institution. Did I say 3 years? Yes, but that begs the question, how could he have accomplished so much in such period? Well, this shows that time is indeed a social construct. So is gender, race, sexual orientation, nationality, and I mention these social identities because that is one of the most important legacies that Gardy leaves behind. The language he gave us to name our world. He not only gave us vocabulary though, he also worked hard to turn that vocabulary into institutional policies that furthered the work of equity and inclusion. In social justice circles, this work tends to be presented as a continuum. However, I like to think of it as a mountain, sometimes even a very steep mountain. As it turns out, Gardy has been climbing that mountain far longer than most of us. And by virtue of that, he's farther ahead on the way to that unreachable summit. And yet, if there's one thing that we could all witness throughout his exceptional career at Newark Academy was that he was always willing to meet us where we were, individually and institutionally. He would come back down to several points in the mountain and help us get from where we were to a higher station. In doing so, he reminded us and taught us that we are all works in progress and that learning never stops. That is the measure of a true educator. If you have ever climbed a mountain, then you know that going up by yourself in itself is exhausting. Can you imagine how much going up and down multiple times in a day taxes the body? And still, throughout the climb, Gardy never wavered or complained. In the myth of Sisyphus, his 1942 essay, Albert Camus wrote, the gods had condemned Sisyphus to ceaselessly rolling a rock to the top of a mountain, whence the stone would fall back of its own weight. They had thought, with some reason, that there's no more dreadful punishment than futile and hopeless labor. Despite of the rock that must be pushed uphill, there's nothing futile or hopeless about the beautiful work you have done. So as he moves on to the next step of his life, I like to invite our community to look at all that Gardy created while creating community. And with Camus, we must imagine Gardy happy.